Good morning, it's Tuesday the 16th of May. This is Tom Colley presenting the Phoenix Blue Morning Update. Not a lot of news in the market yesterday, meant a quiet day. There isn't a great deal of news in the market due this week, other than possibly on the pound, which has the majority of price action moving news events. So a little bit more focus on intraday. That could well continue through the summer, through what's commonly termed the summer doldrums, where price action gets less volatile, the ranges get tighter, etc., etc. So possibly a good time to focus more intraday, and if you're new to intraday, to introduce it into your trading. So just let's have a look at the news first. We had no major news events at all yesterday. Theresa May did a Facebook type question and answer session. That was very much biased towards the public. Not a lot of financial details there. She stated things like that she wasn't in favour of the voting age to be reduced to 16. She wasn't in favour of banning the wearing of burqas, etc., etc. So there were those types of statements she made, rather than big political or economic announcements. Going forward today, we have the first of the significant news events we have for the pound this week. That is the CPI, but it's year on year, so it's the most significant of the CPI data points. We've got a forecast of 2.6%. We've seen CPI rise pretty consistently over the last 6 months, so the market will be anticipating something similar here, and this forecast being hit. Going forward from that, we have US building permits at 130. Usually at some point this afternoon, can't be specific. It is the New Zealand Dairy Price Index. And then overnight, the PPI input quarter on quarter, again for the Kiwi. And that's it for today. So not a huge amount, as I said, that's going to move the markets. Building permits isn't a big data point normally for the dollar. The GDT price index can have a significant effect on the Kiwi, so be aware of that this afternoon, but the real significant one that we'll see any movement, I'm sure, from will be the pound. So if you're looking to trade that currency today, allow that news event to pass and play out before entering an order in order to trade that market. Look at where we are overall. Here's the dollar index. We had a bearish day yesterday, as we probably anticipated. We're currently sitting at a level about 98.60, 98.35 is the low of the year. We have a commitment of traders extreme alert to the long side there. So certainly in the low volatility market we have at the moment, I would expect that level to be respected. Normally technical levels are better respected when the market is quiet and there is a lack of news events, because there is nothing that will spur buyers and sellers to drive price through existing respected levels. Over on the yen, very much the same story. We had a bullish day in this market yesterday. We've had a sell-off overnight, but clearly range bound to some extent. I've got two intraday levels here, which what I consider will be the high and the low of the or the probable high and low maximums of the market today. I have an order in further down at about 112. As I mentioned yesterday, that's an end of day order looking for a retest of the top of the channel here. Over on euro, again we have a level pretty last week's high here. We have a commitment of traders extreme to the short side this time, being the exact opposite of the dollar index as we'd expect. Again, looking for this level to be respected today. I'll be looking to place a short intraday order at that point to trade that down for a small reward to the short side, simply on the basis of the expectation that that level will be respected in the short term. Over on the pound, well, the pound has given us very little over the last few days. We're very confined within this box range here, having come out of another box range the previous to those 2 weeks here. We've got that news event on the CPI at 9:30. Once that event has played out, dependent on the result, I will be considering trading the top of the box range here as a reversal back down to the bottom side on an intraday basis again. Clearly, any break of the high or the top or the bottom of the box range will give me intraday BPR opportunities to the long side or to the short side, bearing in mind how long price has been confined within that. However, I would again expect if the news doesn't break, it isn't significant enough to break out of this box range, that the trade today would be potentially to the short side from the top of the box, or possibly to the long side from the bottom of the box, but I'm not as keen in trading that. The level's not as well respected, etc., etc., and price is somewhat close to it at the moment. Over on the Aussie, again, this is a market that we had a trade in yesterday. We took a short trade from this level. You can see marked through here at 74.40. We had a nice reaction intraday, although it wasn't as big as we'd hoped. We took a small profit on that, but overnight, and particularly early this morning, when I say early in the morning, within the last hour or so, with the time being now approaching 7:30, price has rallied again this morning. We're not looking to trade that level again. I have an end of day trade this higher level here, looking for price to hit this level in conjunction with the downward trend line within this triangle formation here. So probably nothing in that market intraday today, but we did take some small amounts of pips out of the market yesterday. Over on Kiwi, again, this is a trade that we took yesterday. You can see the level through here. It wasn't actually this level we took, it was a bit further down, but we kept us within our stop loss. It was a limit order. Again, we took a small 20 pip profit based on a 20 pip stop loss, and got out of the markets about 7 o'clock last night, when clearly everything that was going to happen yesterday had happened. So even when the markets are quiet, there are opportunities intraday. Even if you're working, there are the opportunities to analyze the market in a way that you do end of day, but just on a smaller time frame, and then place orders ahead of time. As long as there isn't a news event, it does mean you can take advantage of intraday moves. You can't trade the live market, but you can trade significant levels, looking for reactions at those levels for small fixed returns. One of the market we mentioned last week, we were short this market last week. We got in at around this level, about 47.50. As you could see, there was clear support here and further support and resistance historically through there. That level didn't hold. We chose 47.50 as that level, and we also had support from this trend line, which meant our stop fell behind that. So we had that as protection. Unfortunately, our trade was stopped out. Price has now hit another significant level at around 49.50. It reacted from that yesterday. Now looking, our bias in this market still remains short. But now looking for the price to double top on an intraday basis, and we'll look to take a retest of the neckline of the double top should that occur, to take price down to the downside, with initial target of our original entry about the 47.70, 47.50 level, but looking longer term for 47.50 down here, and we may have what becomes a new trading range or a new box range through this level here, with this as the higher level, being a new range going forward, because that tends to be the way that crude likes to trade. It'll trade within a range for a long time, then break out and trade within another range of considerable size. And if you actually look at this range here, you'll find it's basically the same as the range above it when we were using 55 as the highs through here. But if you use the very high there, you'll find that the distance between there and there is the same as the distance between there and there. So basically we're moving from one box range there to another box range there below it. So assuming that occurs, we'll be looking to take advantage of that situation. Okay guys, that's it for today. So a bit more focus intraday there. We see that as being possibly the way that you need to look through quieter periods through the summer, which is what normally happens. As I said, if you can trade intraday and actually not be at your charts, or you can trade more actively and be at your charts. Either of those ways are something that our systems here at Phoenix Blue encompass. If you're interested in learning more, pop onto the website. You can subscribe to these videos if you're not already subscribed, and get an email every morning, every trading morning that is, when they're released, so you get to see them at the first opportunity. Okay guys, that's it for today. Have a great day's trading, and we'll speak to you again in the morning. Take care, bye bye.